Okay, guys, and welcome to another Whisbi webinar. My name is Ushka, and today we're going to talk about the transformation that is happening in the automotive customer experience and how real-time distribution of leads to dealerships can help automotive brands increase their sales. I have a very interesting panelist today here with me. Let me introduce them. The first one is Ehsan Chisfi. Welcome, thank you for joining. He's the general manager of Hyundai and Genesis brand in Bahrain. He has more than 30 years of experience in the automotive industry, both UK and the Middle East. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
We also have here with us Ehab. He is the head of marketing and CRM at Hyundai. He's also a very experienced automotive expert, over 15 years of experience in North Africa and Middle East region. So thank you so much for joining as well.
Thank you, Oscar. Thank you so much.
And last but not least is our Chief Strategy Officer at Whisbi, Frederick. Thank you for being our constant in these webinars.
Thanks, Oscar. As always, a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I want to give just maybe a minute for people that are maybe still joining, give them some time to log in our Zoom. And then we can jump into the next slide and kind of explain what we're going to talk about today and have just a nice conversation about how Hyundai has been and is still using Whisbi. What are the plans for the future? What kind of success have you seen? And how do you see this fit into your overall marketing or sales strategy at your company?
Perfect.
Okay, so maybe let me just give you a brief introduction about the whole topic of making or bettering the online customer experience and how this can help increase sales. So our claim is that if you improve your online customer experience and the real-time support that you can offer to your online visitors during their buying journey, it will deliver a higher conversion rates to test drives booked and also ultimately increase in your car sales. But of course, there are still some uncertainties around why customers don't really buy online. We can see that, the majority, I think over 90% of car buying journey starts online. People do their own research. Maybe they even have a high propensity to buy. They have the budget, they want to do it, but they don't end up maybe booking a test drive online or completing a car configurator. They don't want to do that through unassisted channels. And traditionally, this kind of goods have been purchased face-to-face. Why? Because there's a lot of uncertainty, doubt to be talked about. It's clearly a big investment for a lot of individuals, families. So it's a big decision to make. And maybe there's just a lack of information, maybe personal information that is not generic to every single online web visitors, and they have really specific questions they need answers to. So these are the main facts that are kind of stopping people from buying online. Do you agree with that?
I would say, just to add, I think almost all of us, or every day more of us, are used to buying things online, but we're used to either impulse purchases or very simple things that are not considered purchases. Mm-hmm. And I think that people want to. I mean, obviously, a car is a considered purchase. It's a high ticket item. It has lots of content and lots of understanding that is required around that, and lots of explanation and these kinds of interactions that are highly facilitated by an assisted interaction. And so people are looking for that. Although they want to start online and they want to continue online as long as possible, they need that help. And that's really what we're trying to provide here, to bring that percentage of people who are willing to buy online, or maybe even still a little bit reluctant about going into a dealer, or not quite feeling that they're ready to do that, or that they want to save it till the last minute. What we can do is we can give them an experience that allows them to come over the line and really continue their journey farther down while still being in an online experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, Friedrich, if I can just add to that point, I think your observations are valid. In our industry, for the majority of consumers, buying a vehicle or a car of some description, for most people, is the second biggest purchase they'll make after a home. Having the confidence and the self-belief, doesn't matter how confident you are as an online purchaser, to transact virtually it takes a lot of confidence within yourself to make sure that you're making the right decision, not only for you but also for your family. So this kind of thinking takes some very clear thinking before you move forward.
Definitely. Now this brings me to another important point, something that we call lead response time. So we all know that, consumers today are all about the now. I want to speak to somebody now. I have now 5 minutes. Maybe you're dealing with 3 kids and a job and working from home, and you find like 10 minutes where you would like to speak to somebody about your new car purchase. So there's a lot of research done around this and how lead response time really is a very important factor. So maybe just your thoughts around this.
I think that's like you said, Urshka, that's very well documented. If you for somebody who's looking for that dynamic that we just described a moment ago of getting some help, improving their confidence, I want to talk to somebody now. I don't want to have to make an appointment for Tuesday afternoon when I'm actually going to be working or whatever. Each of us has our dynamics, and we are looking to keep the consumers looking to take control of that agenda. And when this interaction happens, they want that to be under their control, not to have to wait 10 minutes or even more than 2 hours, which makes the likelihood of continuing the interaction drop dramatically.
Mm-hmm. So basically what we're saying is whoever makes it easier to buy wins, for obvious reasons already mentioned. And I think you guys at Hyundai have done this incredibly well, and the results that you have achieved that we're going to see in a moment speak for themselves, and people for sure feel like you are there for them in the moment that they want to speak with somebody. Here I wanted to touch on a very important part that can kind of visualize how Whisbi fits into the whole online buying journey of somebody that wants to buy a new car. There are all these different steps that you traditionally have to go through as a self-service way of configuring a car or booking a test drive, finding your dealer, and so on. I was just saying before that me personally, I would be able to choose a model that I like, but then when it comes to the details of what kind of engine do I need or what kind of tires should I choose, like I seriously have no idea. So completing the car configurator would maybe be a bit challenging for me. So I would prefer to kind of speak to somebody who can lead me through that process online, like answer all my doubts, questions, concerns, and then kind of shorten that journey and make it less painful for me and just book a visit, with the preferred dealer. Any comments, or have you seen the same?
I think the transformation from having just a very traditional automotive showroom and then going to online, having a website or a URL that allows you to have more information. I think that's actually now become a very traditional format. I think every business has some kind of website and they're providing some kind of information. I think now what consumers are really looking for beyond the conventional showroom experience and also the online configurator, they're actually looking for more interactive, immediate. We talked about it before about immediate response times, and they expect businesses to be available based on their requirements, not on our traditional business requirements. And they want to be in control of this process. The other thing as well, which is also very interesting, is consumer behavior dictates that if a consumer can be in control of their decision-making process, as opposed to feeling as if the decision is being made for them, that also empowers them more. And actually, it means that they are more concise in their decision-making process. And more importantly, as a business operation, what we find is that the quality of inquiries coming into our business come at a much higher level. So our conversion from inquiry to sale actually becomes a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes total sense. So you already touched a bit about your experience with Whisbi and how you've seen it improve your online customer journey. So please, can you explain to our audience today, how you have innovated, how you have kept your brand and dealerships relevant in this new age of automotive, let's call it like that.
Sure, thank you, Oscar. I think first of all, before I give a little bit of insight into our journey, I think one of the things that I would like to say very clearly is it's a big thank you and recognition to the Whisbi team. You've been an instrumental part of our journey. And I think choosing the right partner in this kind of transformation is key. And I think we're delighted that we're working with the Whisbi team, and it's really paid its dividends. Talking about what we were looking at during the COVID situation, we were facing some very unprecedented situations. Our businesses were in lockdown, consumers were unable to come to the business. And we have some we wanted to keep ourselves relevant, and we wanted to keep ourselves engaged with our customers. So myself and Nehab, we were looking at different ways. We looked at online payment gateways and allowing customers to buy cars online, and we made a lot of transitions through our web portal. And then obviously we started engaging with the Whisbi team, and we started to understand the solution. I have to be honest with you, at first I was a little bit concerned not about the solution, but I was concerned about the market that we're in. We're in obviously in Bahrain, and Bahrain is a very traditional market, very conservative population. And I was concerned that maybe that we wouldn't get the engagement that we were expecting. And anyway, but we thought, okay, it's important that we go through this very important journey, not only just to test our business operation and how we can adapt ourselves as an organization, but also to see how consumer behavior has changed during this particular period. And I have to say that each month the inquiry rate has been going up. The conversion ratios have been increasing. We've seen, frankly speaking, some staff who were a little bit concerned about, okay, what are we doing? Is this really right for us? And we've gone from seeing concerns to a lot of positivity. People are, our own teams are saying, wow, this is a, it's a great transition. And how can we get more engaged? What can we do more? We've seen a high level of positive engagement from our consumers. Our customers have been engaging with us more and more and more through this platform using the Whisbi solution. And also what's actually happened is, and again, very transparently, I didn't expect to see the results that we've got. And I have to say credit to Ehab and his team in terms of what they've been doing, and also credit again to the Whisbi team, because what I've seen from a business point of view, and I'm looking at the ROI, what we've made in terms of an investment, and also what's been the returns on the investment. And I have to say I have been absolutely delighted. And actually, it's something that we're looking at for other elements of our business. I'm sure that we'll be talking to you very soon about our other businesses where we can look at engaging in the same way, because this whole journey has been excellent, and I'm really delighted with the results that we've seen.
Can I ask you a question? Have you seen, during lockdown, the only way to interact was through this kind of platform. When lockdown stopped, do people continue, or do they all of a sudden come flocking back to the dealers?
Actually, what we've seen is that the traditional inquiries, either through walking into the showroom or through telephone or through our web portal, that stayed pretty consistent. we haven't seen a lot of fluctuation there. But what we have seen is we've seen an increase in inquiries coming through the Whisbi platform. So we've consistently seen month on month the inquiry rate increasing. And furthermore, what we've seen also is a higher conversion rate from the inquiries of actually people coming into the showroom as a physical visit. And then we've seen also a higher conversion ratio to sales as well. So honestly, what's actually happened is, and sorry, I'm gonna summarize again. We started a journey which was about trying to find a solution, a quick solution to engage with our customers. And now Whisbi is part of our everyday normal business operation.
Right. So it was about survival, but now it's just about ongoing business.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Yeah. That's great to hear.
It's very, very interesting. And I really like the fact that you mentioned to me earlier that that Whisbi allows for a certain level of control for the customer. Could you maybe elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. Okay. So if anybody's ever had an experience of buying a car, it doesn't really matter which market you're in. Most consumers, they have a little bit of concern because they think, okay, I'm going to walk into a showroom and potentially the next person I talk to is going to be taking some money out of my pocket. So what tends to happen is consumers, they do their online research. They'll whittle down to maybe 2 or 3 products that they're looking to purchase, and then they will visit the showroom. Actually, what Whisbi has done is actually given the consumer to do that research, but with us on a one-to-one level. So as opposed to having like an email communication or a telephone communication, we've actually been engaging with the consumer virtually, sharing with them videos and live streams, etc., having instant calls, so they don't have to go through, our normal phone system. It's almost like, I'd probably describe it as a bespoke VIP communication process where the customer can just engage with us directly. And that level of control with the customer actually has meant that they have more information much sooner in a quicker time frame, and it means that they get to the decision-making process much more quickly as well.
That's
amazing.
great.
So basically, a little bit about the solutions that you have used. One of them is called Whisbi Engage, and it's been powering your Whisbi Live showroom experience. Maybe tell us about this a little bit. How was the response? Number of viewers? How does it look like?
So we've been using both of your solutions, as you know. The latter one that you referred to is where we've been doing live broadcasting. So Ehab, who's head of my marketing and CRM, along with the sales department, we've been scheduling live showroom feeds from our showroom 3 or 4 times a week. We schedule, we post on our social media, through email, through SMS, etc., to say that we're going to be going live. We have a set number of days and the set time each week, so that the consumers get used to a routine as such. And then what we'll do is we'll have one of our sales team, and we don't use the same person. We alternate, because obviously we want our staff to be fully engaged, and we want them to overcome any anxieties they may have in terms of being in front of a live audience. Even though it's a one-way audience, it's a live audience still. And we've put them through their training processes to get up to being confident in terms of their engagement and clarification of communication with the customer. So we've been doing that with a lot of success. We're doing that, as I said, 4 times a week, most days on a 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because it tends to be a little bit quieter in the working environment. And we're getting good engagement, 60, 70, 100, 150 customers dialing in and watching our live stream. Stream lasts for maybe around 25, 30 minutes maximum. And the customer has the opportunity through messaging to ask various questions. Tell me what engine size, tell me, how much is the price, what are the financing options, etc., etc. And we can see all of that, and we're engaging with the customer in a real-time environment. So that's been it's been a great facility for us as well.
Amazing. And then the second solution that you mentioned is called Whisbi Sell, and it's basically the connecting your online visitors with your representatives in dealerships. Maybe a few words about this as well.
Sure, of course. This is obviously, as you know, it's hosted through our website. The customer can just log in at any time. And there is an AI chatbot that you guys have developed for us, which is fantastic. Customer can request an immediate call or a call back literally within a few moments. One of our dedicated staff will call the customer, and we can obviously have a discussion with the customer on their requirements. We can talk through, whatever they may be interested in, whether it be a car or a SUV or something like that, and we can go through that process. And actually, this is what we've seen, because this obviously it's a one-to-one interaction. And what we've seen in particular here is the increase month on month with the number of inquiries coming through this solution. And I've also seen my own team getting more and more engaged with this, looking at it and saying, okay, this is a great opportunity to capture new customers and ultimately, for them to sell
get
and
commission.
and commission, absolutely, which is what it's all about for salespeople. So this is a great solution, and I have to say credit again to the Whisbi team for working with us on finding and fine-tuning all of the elements that we wanted. Sorry if we were so picky on some elements, but you guys really pulled through for us, so I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. I'm sure that they're watching, and if not, I will pass on all your kind words.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, like we're very used to working with global enterprises, and we know that every single company works in a different way, and we make sure that we adapt to all your business processes that already exist and try to make your life easier, not harder, basically.
Thank you. And you've done that, genuinely, you've done that.
Thank you. So the impressive results, please, this deserves a couple of minutes of your comments as well.
Okay. Okay. I think first of all, I'd like to share with those people who are engaged on this webinar. I'd like to share some KPIs and some data. From the beginning of January up until the end of September, we've taken just under 1,000 leads through the Whisbi solution. We've also converted over 220 of those into showroom visits, and consequently, we've also converted those customers, around 35% of those, into actual car sales. For us, there were some elements that we wanted to focus on, and this is the learning process for us. We wanted to make sure that our response time was within an acceptable level. We set a KPI and SLA internally. And also, we also appointed some dedicated staff to manage the Whisbi solution to improve our response time. And response time is really key. As Frederick referred to earlier, response time is really key. The customer needs to feel valued, and the inquiry needs to be feel valued. We've also seen, obviously, our closing ratio continue to increase. Our test drive ratio, which at 60%, I think that would probably be at a global KPI. If you went to any automotive market, if they say you achieve 60% test drive conversion ratio, first of all, they probably wouldn't believe you. And then you'd have to quantify it. But we've actually done it, and it's been crazy. It's been absolutely incredible. And also then we've managed to also increase our sales, and that's all been part of working with the Whisbi team very carefully, empowering and engaging our team, and really understanding the transformation that we've been through, and understanding that consumer behavior has actually changed, and it's changed quite dramatically.
Yeah, I mean, to all of you guys watching this webinar, we're going to share the slides after the session, so you're going to be able to access the link, or you can download Hyundai's business case to read it in detail. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always reach out to us. We're going to be happy to answer. But it's also available for download on our website. And yeah, it's been really a pleasure working with Hyundai Bahrain and your team, and our customer success team is also super excited about this project, and I hope we can grow this partnership even further.
Oscar, I'd have to say, I think maybe I've already said it now 3 times. And I apologize. Actually, I don't get excited about many things. But when I see something working from a 360 perspective, and I can see, especially from as a business point of view, when I look at the ROI, the return on investment on this solution, purely from a business point of view, I have to say it's been fantastic, and I'm delighted with the numbers. And we will, and I can assure you of this, we will invest in more manpower. We will dedicate more of our time into developing this solution further. And as we've discussed previously, we have some other businesses that we're looking to implement the solution on sooner rather than later. And I think, you know, just those few comments actually are a clear testament to how happy and how elated we are with the journey that we've been on with you and the team.
Thank you so much. It's amazing to hear these words from you. All right, so we're gonna finish this session with some questions from our audience. I already received some during our session. One of them was from Stelios. Thank you so much for your question. So his question is, can you explain the flow? So he's interested in what is the flow of Whisbi, the call to action? Is it on your corporate website? And then how is the inquiry directed to dealers? Is it based on proximity, or how does it work basically?
Ehab, if you want to answer the question.
Yeah, sure. So the journey starts usually customers are searching on cars and checking everything mainly on the social media, which we were there, but having all our CTAs and directing the customers to our website. And once the customer arrives to our website, he can go, because in Bahrain, we are only one distributor. So we don't have dealers, because it's a very small island. The market is small as well. So we are only the sole distributor for Hyundai in Bahrain. So we went to where the customers are, mainly on social media, checking and doing everything. And we converted them to our website, the official website, the corporate website for Hyundai, so that they can check car's configurator, they can check everything, and definitely they can, within one click, they can connect to us directly. Once the customer connect to us, they can they get a call from an expert. He goes through all the sales process with him, and not only sharing some stock photos and material that anyone can share over the social media, but they share with them, they share with our customers the real photos and the real videos for the car in the showroom. And they show them and experience with them features and options inside the car. So it's not some stock photos we are sharing with the customers. And to respect the privacy as well for the customers. And this is a very important thing. And thank you for looking care about this. All customers can see us, can see the agents, sales agents, and can see the showroom, of course. But on the other side, as a respect for the privacy, we cannot see the customer. We are just sharing a very private experience with him for their privacy and safety as well. So this is the journey since we started promoting and having our advertising, and the city is directing them to our corporate website and going to the sales process. At some point as well, we don't stop over sharing the showroom, sharing the cars and answering the customers' inquiries, but as well we are offering a test drive. Not only offering test drive within our showroom, but within the pandemic we have changed, and the customers have changed, and we had to change as well. So in many cases, and this we had a good results about this, we offered the customers a home test drive as well. So if you are reluctant about this, we can send you the car. If you are busy, we can send the car. And we have, this is, as we were talking before, this is a very niche private. You can feel that you are a very VIP customer when dealing with this. So we had a very good feedback, and customers actually, they like being treated, and all of us like to be treated as a special VIP customer over this.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for this answer. We have more questions. Alfonso is asking, are you working with any Italian companies at the moment? I think Frederic, you can take this one.
I mean, we have a number of clients in Italy, both in the automotive sector and in other sectors. So we as Whisbi are in more than 30 countries now. So yes, we are working in Italy.
Mm-hmm. Right. We have another question from an anonymous attendee. It's for, I guess, a hub probably. Do you use smartphones to show live your car models inside, for example? So basically they're talking about what kind of devices, how does it work?
Yeah, the Whisbi Cell solution is offering us two options actually to use mobile phones, and iOS and Android mobile phones as well. So just if you have a smartphone, by having and downloading the app, you can use the Whisbi Cell Lite option and on any platform you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. I have another question from Kushan. The results are fantastic. Do you have a before and after comparison that you can share?
Yeah, we have this information.
Yes, we did have this, but actually having those type of qualified leads over the website, we didn't used to have this before because we didn't provide this type of experience before. But on general, we had a relatively low conversion ratios into showroom visit. We are talking here about almost 75%. But previously using the inquiries as well, such as inquiries, sending an email, requesting a quotation or requesting a call back or anything not live, we did have really less. We are talking about the conversion for the showroom visits, maybe it's around 10%. And converting to test drive is probably less than this. And hardly we can get a 1% to 2% in actual sales, mainly because it takes time. And if we didn't catch our customers in a correct timing, we will lose.
Yes, that's a very important point. I have another question from Stelios. Would you consider Whisbi also for car services, queries, or appointment bookings?
Harvey, can I answer that question if you don't mind? Actually, that's a really pertinent question. We've been looking internally to see how we can do more with Whisbi. And actually, I think one of the things that we will consider, and we will work with the Whisbi team on this more closely, is to provide this kind of solution into our after-sales business, particularly related to servicing, service appointments, et cetera, et cetera. So this is something that we're actually reviewing right now. Our journey with Whisbi is just over a year, and we've learned a lot in that time, and all very positive things. And we've adjusted our business to suit the requirements of the consumer and also to get the best results out of the solution. So we're actually reviewing internally now on how we can adapt the Whisbi solution into our after-sales business. I think the answer is yes, it can be done. It just needs a little bit of fine-tuning and a bit of tweaking, which I know for sure the Whisbi team are going to say, yes, okay, no problem, Ihsan, it can happen.
Definitely. All right, maybe one last question from Bao. Will you plan to launch longer live shopping events? What will your near future plan on such campaigns look like?
Yeah.
So I think he's talking about the live engagement broadcasts.
Yeah, so we are using a live engagement in the broadcast solution in a constant way, actually. We are broadcasting 3 days per week. And it's not only about the timings and intervals that we are broadcasting, but also we are looking about the content. So whenever we are having a new model launch, we explain and we do a live broadcast about the new model features and options and everything related to it. Whenever we're having a seasonal campaign, a promotional campaign, for example, we are doing the same. Just to spread more awareness about the campaign or about the offer that we are having within this time. Not only this, this is still under study, but we are thinking as well, going in a different way. Everyone can do videos talking about cars, talking about features and options in a static way. What we are thinking right now is, as long as this is a mobile solution, a broadcast solution,
Mhm.
Showing on road the features and options that they are interested in. At the end, customers will use their cars not in a showroom, but they use it on the roads. So why not to test it? If we are talking about safety features, if we're talking about connectivity, if we're talking about all this, why not to do this? Of course, within a safe and secure way by doing this, but we are just want to explore more ideas. By having this solution, we can do lots and lots of things.
Wow, that sounds so cool. I can't wait to see it in action. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Thank you again so much for attending this webinar and sharing your experience with Whisbi, with our audience today. It's been quite a big crowd, over 50 people attended. So I hope we answered all your questions. And if you have any more, just reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer anything that you might want to know. I'm getting a lot of congrats for the great work. Thank you, guys. A lot of positive messages from our reviewers. So I think this is aimed to mostly you guys at Hyundai and the incredible job you have done. So yeah, thank you again. And I hope we'll talk soon and have another session, maybe with another brand, another project in the near future.
Thanks, Hassan and Ihad. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and thanks so much for sharing your experiences.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, Frederick. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a great experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.